Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome back to another speed build. Today I am building here in the world of Brindleton Bay, which is of course the world that we got with cats and dogs a very long time ago now, but it's still one of my favorite worlds. And recently I've been wanting to build here, and I've been looking at pictures on Pinterest trying to get ideas and inspiration for coastal style homes, and I ended up finding one that was like an older plan of a house, and that's what I based this one off of. So I'll put an image up on screen, and as always, in case I forget, please just let me know in the comments and I will like link it or something in the description box. But anyways, hopefully I remember. Yeah, I was also inspired by a comment I got by one of you guys recently that said a suggestion for a house, a coastal beach house for a sim that writes about the sea. They have a dog and they often go to the beach to walk their dog. And so I thought one of these side lots over by the ocean would be the perfect sort of location for this, rather than the one that's like right on the ocean. And my only reason for that is because it's just not a very big lot, and it's kind of a hard lot to build on. And this one I thought would be better because I wanted it to be more of just like a very relaxing sort of home. I don't know, like kind of like a writer's retreat sort of house, if that makes any sense. And I decided to go for a more of a darker color scheme, lots of rich browns and blacks, and some pops of like red and yellow here and there. And so it's not your typical coastal color scheme. You could easily switch it up if you wanted to make it, you know, sandy wood tones and blues and whites. And the reason I didn't do this is just because I wanted to stick more closely to the inspiration image that had the more like a redder siding color, like a shingle siding. And also I just wanted to do something that I haven't really done too much of. I've done a couple of coastal homes that are in more of this color scheme, but most of them have been very traditional color schemes with the, you know, the whitewashed wood and blues and everything. But I think this would be an easy home to transfer to that color scheme if that's what you prefer. But yeah, I hope you guys do like it. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. As you can see, the shape is starting to come together. It's very much this sort of like 1920s cottage style, I would say. I mean, I really am not 100% sure about that, and I know nothing about architecture, but I believe that's what it is. But I thought it was just such a cute style of home, and I think it ended up turning out so cute in The Sims 2. It's not an exact replica of the exterior or the floor plan, but it definitely was a good jumping off point basically for the house. But there I just used a small roof piece on the chimney that I built, and I used the one that came from the werewolves game pack, and I used it because it had like the moss on the roof, and I thought maybe the part that was on the chimney hasn't been cleaned, or maybe the rain kind of settles there so moss grows. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of a fun location just to use that one piece of mossy roof, and I didn't want the whole roof to be mossy, but I liked that one little spot. And this house ended up being a really big house for just a single sim and their dog. So you could easily have a family here, and probably a pretty good sized family if you wanted to maybe switch up the floor plan a little bit. The way I did the floor plan was to have a main bedroom. It's not like a master suite or anything because the bathroom's just in the hallway. And then the other room is accessible to the balcony, but I turned that into the writing office. And I was thinking, if you wanted to switch up the floor plan to be suitable for a family, I would probably turn the main bedroom into probably 2 bedrooms. I think it's probably big enough to do that. And then I would turn the one that's connected to the balcony into the master bedroom or the main bedroom. I think that would be probably the best way to do it. And then the downstairs is super spacious. There's a laundry room, there's a bathroom, there's a sunroom, a full dining, kitchen, very large living room. I didn't realize when I was building this just how big the living room was, and it honestly took me a while to figure out how to do like the layout of the furniture, and I cut all of that out because I must have tried like 4 or 5 different attempts of decorating the living room just because it was such a just one of those long rooms. And if you guys have been watching my channel for probably any amount of time, you know when it comes to living rooms, and if they're like long and narrow, I always kind of struggle with decorating them. I think I ended up making it work and balanced out the space pretty nicely. I ended up adding one of the gaming tables, the Don't Wake the Llama table in there. It doesn't actually have the Don't Wake the Llama game on it. I think when it's like that, you can play cards, if I remember correctly. But either way, you can put the Don't Wake the Llama game on there and play that. But I thought that would be kind of like a nice activity, and I was trying to think more about the Sim. So the Sim is a writer, and they live by the ocean, and they write about the sea. And I was wondering, do they specifically write about the sea, like setting, like they write about maybe they write novels and the setting is always in locations by the sea, or do they specifically write about the ocean in general? I imagine this Sim writes novels. I'm not sure if they're romance, thrillers, suspenseful, murder mystery. I'm not really sure, but I definitely think their main focus is writing about locations by the sea. So specific genre, I'm not really sure, but they live with their dog, and their dog is their best friend. And I imagine this to be an older Sim, not like an elderly, but definitely I think an adult Sim. And I think they've been unlucky in love, and so that's why they just live with their dog. But I do think they're still holding out hope to find that special somebody in their life, and maybe they'll find them walking on the beach. I don't know, but I liked that idea. But I do think that this Sim and their dog enjoy their company. Like they enjoy spending their time with one another. And I also think this Sim enjoys fishing. I figured that was a good hobby since they live by the ocean, so they do some fishing, probably just as unwinding time and sit and think, and maybe think about inspiration. Probably they take their dog for a walk down by the beach, think about inspiration from that, and then maybe do some fishing and just spend like a nice relaxing time gathering their thoughts and ideas. Maybe they even have like a little journal that they write in to take down notes and write their ideas out that way. I think that's a pretty fun idea. But yeah, I was also thinking that since I put the Don't Wake the Llama table in here, maybe they like to play games. I put a couple of those board game clutter items that we have from, I think, 2 different packs now. I think 2 different kits came with, no, one came with the Growing Together expansion pack, and the other one we got with the basement kit. But anyways, I thought that maybe they really enjoy puzzles and board games and those sorts of things. Maybe they even have like a couple of friends that come over every once in a while and they have like a game night. But I think this Sim is specifically looking for somebody to like share their life with, and who also likes dogs and games and the beach, because I think those are all like the most important things to this Sim. And something that I did really fun with the landscaping, I mean, I think it's really fun. I'm not sure if you guys will agree, but for a long time I've been collecting like landscape drawings of backyards, and I've been collecting them on Pinterest for a long time and have been meaning to use them specifically for inspiration when doing a yard for a Sim. And this time I finally used one, and I think the yard turned out to be so cute. I didn't use it specifically for the front of the house, but the back yard area. You'll see that at the very end of the video, because at this point I wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go with the yard and how I wanted to lay everything out, so I decided just to hold off on it and decorate the interior first. But here I'm just adding some lights to the exterior. These lights that came with Get Together I thought were really pretty, and I thought they like suited the style of the house and everything. But here, moving on to the interior, I'm just picking out some flooring, and I also picked out a staircase. I decided to go with this one, which I think came from high school years, so I think it's supposed to be like an Art Deco style. But I thought the 2 wood tones could kind of create the illusion that it was a carpeted staircase. Even though I put wood floors everywhere and no carpet, I do like the idea of having a carpeted staircase in builds, and we don't have any. I have some in custom content, but none that are in actual packs, so I thought this one kind of looked like it was. But the colors, either way, I thought matched the colors that I wanted to use on this interior. And this is, of course, going to be the kitchen. I used these cabinets and counters that came from Parenthood. The stove also came from Parenthood, but the refrigerator did not, because I wanted a black refrigerator, but there wasn't a black option with the wood tone that I wanted to use. So that was kind of frustrating. So I just used this one that came from the I think it's a Cottage kitchen kit. I don't know. Like I've said, there's so many kits now that I'm like, I don't even know what their names are. But speaking of kits, I recently just got the latest 2 build kits, the Riviera and the Bistro kit. And so I'm loving them. I think they came with really nice build items. I haven't looked at everything yet, but I just created an apartment and used some of the objects. And I think the objects that I used in there were really nice. And they were some that I haven't even seen from other people. And the reason I was holding off on those kits is because I just really haven't seen anything from anybody. I mean, I've seen people build with them. I haven't really watched too many, so maybe that's why. But usually when a pack is released, you see a lot of screenshots on like Twitter and stuff of people sharing like cool objects that they like, and I just hadn't seen that many, so I didn't think there was really that many objects that I was going to be that excited about, but I was pleasantly surprised. But here I am picking out different clutter items, trying to clutter up the kitchen, make it feel lived in and decorated. I didn't want it to feel too cluttered and messy. I just didn't really feel that this sim was that messy, but they definitely, you know, live here and they use the kitchen, so I wanted it to have that feel. And I like what I did with the hanging pots there in the corner cabinet. I wanted it to feel like there was a rack that was built in under the cabinet and it was hanging from that rather than the ceiling, even though it is hanging from the ceiling. But I think I hid it in the cabinet enough to where it feels like it is hanging from the cabinet itself. So I thought that was a pretty cool look. And I've done it once before, but it's been a long time. And so I was happy to try that idea again. And yeah, here I'm just picking out other objects, plants, decor. I think I ended up hanging a light over here. I was going to put a shelf or a hanging plant or something, but I wasn't finding anything that really fit the way I wanted to, and so I figured a light worked pretty nicely. And then yeah, over here is going to be the dining room. I decided to go for a circular dining table just because I felt like it would fit the space really nicely. Of course a rectangular one would fit nicely too, or a square one, but I don't know, sometimes it's nice to have the round dining table. Sometimes I feel like they just work better in certain spaces, and I don't really know why that is, but I felt like the room was so square. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But anyways, I just put a fruit bowl on the top, plant in the corner. I end up placing a little table in the corner with a couple of decorations on it, and I think I end up placing a grandfather clock as well, but it really wasn't a big room, so I didn't want to clutter it up with too much furniture because of course I wanted your sim to be able to get to the kitchen, get to the sunroom, and use the dining table. So I think too much would have blocked that. Something that I end up doing here in just a moment is changing the color of these archways. I like them white, but they weren't, I don't know, they weren't giving me the look that I think I was going for. So I ended up changing them to a dark brown here, I think right before I decorate the living room. So this would be something that you could easily switch back if you prefer the white, because I think both look nice. Just like partway through building, I was like, nah, I think I should change them. So that's what I ended up doing, but I left all the doors white. So it's kind of like a mixture between white and brown and red tones and different wood tones. It's not like heavily matchy, but I prefer that. I think at least for this build. But over here is going to be the laundry room. So I created like a little walk-through laundry room. So when you first walk in the front door, you can walk directly into the living room, or you can go to the laundry room, and the laundry room has a bathroom attached to it. And so I thought this was nice, especially since the sim had a dog and they live by the beach. They're probably extremely messy when they come home, so they only have to go through the entryway and they can go right into the laundry room, you know, strip down, clean up, and then go into the bathroom and get cleaned up there. And I believe I made sure to put a full shower and tub combination because I wanted the sim to be able to walk their dog or wash their dog downstairs after their walks and everything, because I think that would just be like the best idea for realistic purposes. So I like having that realistic reason, I guess, for in the Sims. But yeah, this is going to be the bathroom, and it's very simple, nothing too spectacular, but I think it matches the rest of the house. And I think it's cute and everything. I really liked using this rustic shelf in here that came with the horse expansion pack, which I can't remember the name of right now, but I thought that shelf looked really pretty in here, and I liked that it had the bathroom clutter. And then I ended up using this mirror, and I really like this mirror because it has all those sticky notes on it, and I love having the idea for Sims who gather inspiration or, you know, live with maybe families members that they might write notes to. But for this Sim, since they're a writer, I love the idea of them maybe having just taken a shower and then they jot down some notes what they were thinking about in the shower, and so that's what those sticky notes are for. I really like that idea because then they're just, I don't know, it just ties in the Sims personality and stuff to just like a very simple decor object. But I think that's super fun. Here in the entryway there's a walk-in closet. I thought this shelf looked really nice because of course it has the dog leash and collar and everything hanging from it. There's a nice little chair so the Sim could sit and put on their shoes and hang up their coat and their dog collar and everything. I made sure to put a lot of dog beds in this house because I wanted it to feel like this dog follows the Sim everywhere they go. So whether they're in the sunroom, they're in the office, they're on the back porch, bedroom, wherever they are, the dog is laying on the bed next to them. But there I just changed up the color of the archways. I forgot the one to the sunroom, but I do change that one as well. So yeah, it just adds a bit more contrast, and the glass in the archway has a bit more color to it rather than just the clear glass and black framing. So yeah, I thought it looked nice, and it brought in some of the blacks that I was using like in the window trim, and I was just kind of trying to tie it all together without having that matchy-matchy, and I ended up really liking it. But there I just placed the Don't Wake the Llama table. Here I'm picking out some furniture for the living area, and I ended up using this couch set, or these couches rather. It's not really a set because it's the same couch, but I wish it would have been a set. Like if we would have got a full couch to match this love seat, that would have been amazing because it's such a good couch. And in case you're not recognizing it, it came with the jewelry making stuff pack. Yeah, I almost said kit, but I'm pretty sure it's a stuff pack. Either way, I thought that they looked pretty in here. I loved the blue, and now that we have these throw cushions, it's really easy to make them feel more lived in and not so repetitive. Even though I use the same ones on each couch, they're really nice for making things not feel so repetitive. And then I used this nice little lounge chair over here, and then here I'm just placing a lamp, just a base game one, but I scaled it up just because I felt like it was a bit too short for that corner, and it was kind of like hiding behind the chair, and I wanted to stand out a little bit more, so that's what I ended up doing. And there I placed a dog bed, and I just placed a side table over here with a few clutter pieces, and yeah, again, nothing too special, but enough to make it feel lived in and decorated and all that stuff. But over here I do place some picture frames, and I use these artworks that came from the horse expansion pack, and I'm using the tool mod to pull them and move them, you know, exactly where I want them, but they actually scaled down really nicely. I could have, of course, further scaled them to fit, you know, just perfectly using the tool mod, but thankfully with the bracket key, they scaled down really nicely, and I thought they looked really good in there, so I was very happy with the way that turned out. And I ended up doing it again in the master bedroom just to sort of add some more artwork, and I liked doing it this way because then you don't have to have like big grand paintings everywhere. They look more just like little pictures that maybe the sim has collected at, I don't know, maybe antique markets or flea markets, or maybe they're pictures they've taken themselves, or they're just, I don't know, basic pictures they've purchased at any old store. But here I'm decorating the coffee table, and I felt like with a sim who writes, maybe they have a very cluttered coffee table with lots of books, and since the sim also liked games, I put this little chess set there, which I thought looked really nice, and I think it just turned out to be so cozy, and yeah, I thought it was adorable. But over here is going to be the stairway, which of course leads to the second floor, and I just put a picture and that nice little decoration that has the fishing pole and other fishing stuff. But over here is going to be the sunroom, and the sunroom I think turned out to be so cute. I actually decorated it once before, like right after I decorated the dining room, and I didn't like it at all. So I completely deleted all of the furniture and just left it for when I felt like I was gonna decorate it, maybe in more of the style that suited the house and everything. I don't know, I just felt like it felt very out of place because I used a lot of plants, and while I think this sim likes nature and gardening and probably enjoys having a little bit of indoor plants, I don't think they want an entire sunroom dedicated to plants. I don't think they're that obsessed with it. And so I think this was a nice balance, because there is a plant in here, but I think they more just enjoy sitting by the fire, drinking a cup of coffee or something. And if there was smoking in the game, I think the sim would probably like smoke cigars or something. That's kind of what I imagined. So I thought that was a nice idea, and this would be the perfect room for it. And of course the dog would be in here laying down, although I think, did I forget a dog bed in here? I hope I didn't, but if I did, definitely add one. I think I may have forgot. Oh, that's sad. Definitely put one in here. Oh, and I placed that wine rack in here, and I placed it because I was searching for a bar to put in here, and I was going to use the globe bar, but then this one was in the same category as like the functioning bars, and so this whole time I thought that was purely decorative, and so now I'm wondering if it actually functions, and I haven't play tested it, so if you guys know, let me know. But either way, if it doesn't function, I still think it looks good in there. But I do want the sim to have an easy way to get drinks. There is the one tile bar that we got with the login event, so if you have that, you could definitely place that as well. But I decided not to. But there I did change the color of the doors up here, and I thought I left them white, so maybe I should have changed the downstairs ones. But maybe it's nice that they don't match. I don't know. It's, again, an easy thing to change if you have a preference. But over here is going to be the main bedroom, so this is going to be the room that the Sim sleeps in, and the other technically bedroom is the one that I'm going to decorate as his office. And I thought this bed from the Cottage Living expansion pack looked really cute in here. I liked the black metal frame, and I thought the yellow bed was pretty fun. But over here I put a walk-in closet, and then right next to it I end up using these bookcases that came with the, I think it was the jewelry making kit, but yeah, I thought it looked really pretty in here, and I end up using more of the bookcases in the office because I really wanted the Sim to have like an extensive book collection, and I think having these grand bookcases really shows that and just shows their love of reading, love of writing and everything. And then of course above the bed I put these coastal pictures, and I thought that was pretty perfect to have right above the bed. And they were a bit off center because of the placement of the windows, and I thought about moving the windows, but I just shuffled everything over just a little bit. But yeah, in here I do end up placing some artwork, a couple of these tall dressers that came from, I think, Growing Together. I might be wrong, but I really like these ones a lot. I like the style of them, but they're just a bit small in scale. So typically when I use it, I do scale them up using the tool mod. And I just put a chair in the corner, and then this is the other frame that I was talking about, just the picture frame that I end up adding some of those artworks in and using the tool mod to place them just so. But I'm just decorating the bookcase with some extra books and boxes, and I think maybe some games. I can't exactly remember, but I ended up doing the same in the office too, just kind of cluttering it up with whatever I thought would look nice and basically fill in the spaces. But yeah, here I'm just picking out the different pictures that I want to use in these frames. A lot of them scaled down really nicely, and they were really easy to place, and I can't believe I haven't thought about doing this before, so I'm definitely going to be doing this all the time because it's such an easy way to fill in these frames, and yeah, just make them look like nice little art pieces, because I always place them imagining that when you play in this house you would take pictures of your Sims and place them in them, which you still totally can do, but in case you don't, then there's artwork there. So I think that's kind of a nice way to do it. But yeah, over here is going to be the second room, which is turned into an office. And so like I was saying earlier, I think I would probably definitely turn this into the main like master bedroom because it is connected to the balcony, and I think that would be good for master bedroom. And then if you wanted to play with a family, you could easily turn the master bedroom into two smaller rooms for children or something. I think that would work pretty well. But yeah, in here I wanted to have a desk, of course. I wanted to have a nice seating area, storage, bookcases. I just wanted it to feel like a writer's office, and so I tried adding clutter and decorations that I think added to their personality and added to the story and everything. There I just put some I guess they're degrees, but maybe they could be awards or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I do think there's some degrees and some maybe combination of awards. I'm not really sure what the awards would be for, but I definitely think this Sim has been to college for writing. Maybe they had a few different minors, so they have lots of different degrees, and they're very proud of it, but they're not like overly showy about it. They're proud enough to put it up in their office on the wall so they can see it every day, but they don't want it like down in their main living area for everybody to see when they come visit. But there I just put a little notebook right next to the computer, and I imagine that's the one that the Sim usually keeps in their pocket and jots down notes and ideas and different things like that. But I think they probably do the majority of their writing on the computer. But here I remembered the dog treats, and so I thought it'd be fun to have some dog treats in the office, and then I was going to put some here in the kitchen, and I thought the top of the microwave was a good location to do it because I really didn't have too much space left on the counters, and you might actually have to delete something to make the kitchen functional now that I think about it, because I cluttered it up quite a bit. So hopefully it's not too big of a problem. But yeah, there I'm just cluttering up the bookcases, just adding some games, boxes, books, and random clutter just to fill in the spaces. Here I add a couple of dog statues because I thought that was cute, and I think the Sim is just a huge fan of dogs, so they have dog statues. I also add a couple of fish plaques. I put a couple over here, and then there's a couple in the dining room. I didn't want it to be like overly about fishing, but I wanted there to be enough to show that the Sim does enjoy being by the water and having fishing as a hobby. And then here is the back porch or back balcony, and I just add like a chair, well, two chairs, and then a telescope. very simply decorated, and then I add a little chair here on the front, and I believe a dog bed, yes. And so really like that idea, but I never placed one in the sunroom, so I would definitely do that. But here I'm going to quickly decorate the upstairs bathroom because I almost forgot about it. It's a really good sized bathroom though, and there's of course a shower and tub combo, a sink, a toilet, all of your necessary bathroom items. But I think it turned out really cute, and I think this Parenthood wallpaper looked really nice in here, and I really liked it. Specifically with the floor tile that I used, I think I almost never use this tile. I may have used it once before, but I thought the like style and color of it and everything like worked really nice in this particular build. So yeah, I was very happy with the way that looked. But yeah, here I'm just picking out some different clutter items to put around the bathroom. Nothing too crazy, but enough to make it feel lived in and decorated, kind of like the kitchen, which bathrooms are nice because you don't actually need the countertops to be empty for your Sims to use the bathroom, whereas a kitchen, that's kind of important. So you have to hold back on the clutter sometimes. But yeah, there I just used some move objects, or the tool mod rather, to place that towel hanging from the sink, and I thought that looked really cute. I've seen people do this before, mostly in kitchens though. I'm not sure if I've ever seen it in a bathroom, and it may not be that realistic for a bathroom to have a towel hanging there, but I didn't really have room on the walls, so I thought it was a good spot for it. But here I'm moving on to the landscaping. So like I was talking earlier, I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go for the landscaping, so I was browsing on Pinterest and remembered that I'd been collecting these images and just based the landscaping off of those images. The front, not so much, but I was just kind of picking ones, or like picking plants and flowers that I thought would suit how I wanted the backyard to look. So yeah, let me know if you guys like the way it turned out, and I will definitely be trying this again in future homes because I think it's a fun way to do landscaping, because sometimes it's an easy thing to kind of get stuck in a particular way of decorating and kind of in a rut with doing, and you just end up using the same things over and over, and you have like your favorite plants. And so even though I used plants that I use a lot of, I don't think I use them in a way that I typically do. So you guys can let me know. But yeah, I also liked using those trellises with the vines growing up them. I put a couple on the chimney and a couple on the side of the house just to sort of add some more character and fill in a dead space where I didn't have a window. Because sometimes I'll do that. I'll like block the side of a house with a tree or some vines or something if there's a weird awkward place that doesn't look right with a window not there. Because sometimes a window doesn't work for the interior, then it looks off on the exterior. I don't know, let me know if you guys agree. But over here, since I put a fireplace in the sunroom, I thought I would add a little thing. I don't know if you'd call that a chimney, but it's some sort of a chimney thing. I don't know the exact name of it. But here on the back porch, I just wanted to add a bench, a barbecue grill, a dog bed, and I think I just added a toy box, and that's it. And so since I remember the toy box there on the back porch, I thought I would add a few in the interior because I do think the dog has a lot of toys. They're very loved. But yeah, here I'm finally starting with the exterior. So I was looking at different like drawings of backyards or backyard plans, I guess is what they are. And I saw quite a few with pathways leading to like a circular area where they had like a table, or it led to maybe a greenhouse or something. And so I thought it would be nice to have a path leading to a circular area and using a fire pit, because I don't use a lot of fire pits in The Sims, but I think for this particular build, I thought it would suit it really nicely, and it would be a nice thing to add in the circular area. And then I just filled in the outer edges with some hedges and some of the plants that I'd been using at the front of the build, and I think it just filled in so nicely because I wanted to have the backyard pretty private. I mean, this is a pretty private lot, but I didn't want it to be fenced in, even though that might be the better thing with the dog. But yeah, I don't know, I just thought it turned out to be so pretty, and I ended up adding some white hydrangeas back here, and I just ended up really liking it. So I'm hoping you guys are going to like it as well, and hopefully you guys have liked the way the build turned out, and hopefully you guys liked the build idea. I can't remember if I mentioned it at the beginning, but it was Hezekiah Duckworthy 8867. So thank you so much for your comment. I really enjoy getting inspiration for builds and build ideas for specific characters. It really adds to like the inspiration for building. So it's very helpful. So if you guys have any more ideas, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And please leave any comments or suggestions you have. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Underneath your wind I soar. Wasted, I feel wasted. With every breath I draw from you. I die a million times for you. I follow you with every step that you take. I will give you everything, my all. But for you, I'm a ghost, a shadow.